I started going to the cinema as a child probably when I was around about 5, because I can remember quite an excitement. My mum and dad saying I could go along to the cinema with my older sister.
And would it be in the children's cinema matinees that you would have went to?
My first experience of going to the cinema was a children's cinema matinee, and it was always on a Saturday morning, and it was at the Regal ABC Picture House in Liverland.
Who would you go to the pictures with?
I remember feeling very excited because my sister always went to the pictures on a Saturday morning and I always had to stay at home because I wasn't old enough. And then one final morning my dad said, right, it's your turn, you can go along to the pictures. So every Saturday morning I went along with my sister Ginny, and I got taken by dad and left there, but she looked after me while I was in there.
What was the atmosphere like inside the cinema matinees?
The atmosphere was absolutely buzzing. It was full of excitement and children standing in the queue, getting all excited as to come in and see what was going to be shown at the screening that week. And it was noisy and just very excitable. It was great. I remember feeling, I can still remember going to the cinema for the very first time. I can still remember that walk up. It was in Liverland and we had to go over what was called the lift bridge, because it used to lift the bridge for the canal for the boats to go through. And I can still remember the excitement walking up to the cinema over the lift bridge and on the corner. And I can remember feeling, so excited at the fact that this was going to be, this was something I was really going to enjoy. And I can remember standing outside with my dad and my sister waiting to go in the queue, and there's all these other children just as excited as I was. But it was a great experience. You can still feel it now, you can still see it. That's how much of an impression it has on you as a child. Well, usually from what I can remember, we used to go in and obviously we'd get our ticket and any sweets. We'd been given 6pence to go and get some sweets, and then we'd get our place. And usually what came on we always used to have the cartoons, and it would always be some of the Looney Tunes or Tom and Jerry or Sylvester and Tweety Pie. And then there'd be a comedy. I can always remember seeing at the cinema the Little Rascals, because I used to love the Little Rascals, and they used to be on. And then there used to be it was like a cereal that always finished on a cliffhanger. So you'd always be most excited to go back the following week to see this cereal. Sometimes it was Flash Gordon. I mean, obviously they were quite old, some of the stuff that we saw. But I can always remember one, but I can't remember the name of it, and I can always remember something about the purple scorpion. I've looked it up, but I can't find it, so I don't know whether I've imagined that. And something to do with a claw, and I can always remember that stuck in my mind all these years about the cereals that were on.
Would they have been quite frightening watching them as a child?
I think they were quite frightening. They were quite exciting. And you used to sort of slap your hands over your eyes, wondering what was going to happen. And then of course, when there was a really bad part, and the bad person came on, everybody would bang their feet, and you could just hear thousands of children just banging their feet on the floorboards of the cinema. It was just amazing. And then they all stopped. They all stopped in unison. It was just amazing. But sometimes, as well as film, they'd have an entertainer on, and I can always remember one particular entertainer that sticks in my mind, and it was yo-yos. He brought a yo-yo in, and he was doing all these tricks with this yo-yo. Of course, every child then went home and wanted a yo-yo, but they couldn't do what he did. It's just amazing. And then they'd get children up on stage for their birthdays, and it was really great. I just loved it.